Hello. Let me see if you, let me know if you see me. All right, let's just pop in here and make sure all 16,000 people can see me. I know some of you are very excited, texting in Messenger saying, where are you? Where are you? We're logging in. It takes some time for it to stream live. So if you can see me, pop your name below. I see 3 people are here. Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, awesome. And I'll just take everyone actually as well. Hi, Sandy. Hi, I see Reba as well. Just gonna live. Okay, awesome. I see Phyllis joined. Jennifer is here. Tabitha is here. Elizabeth is here. Awesome, awesome. Probably today you guys have a little more time. I know a lot of you are on holidays today as well as tomorrow. So first off, this is the live about the best tips to enjoy your holiday eating without gaining weight. I know this is a super popular live. Thanks, Jennifer. You're always so sweet. It's a big like poncho shawl. um, but yes, to this topic is just in time before the Thanksgiving tomorrow. So I know this was going to be super popular, and want to first start off by saying happy Thanksgiving to all the US members of our group or people watching on YouTube. Actually our group, the larger percentage is from the States, believe it or not. And then the second most popular in this group is Canada. And I think it's followed by Australia, UK, and then the Caribbeans. So this is a very multicultural group, but we have a lot of you in this group that is experiencing Thanksgiving right now. And so in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I wanted to, thank you, Jennifer. I see lots of happy Thanksgiving in here, Elizabeth. Awesome. Thank you. Hi, Diana. So I wanted to just take time to actually not only say happy Thanksgiving to all of the US members, but I also want to, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, first of all, say thank you to all the members in this community, all 16.5 thousand, which is crazy over the years how it's grown, because I believe a community is only possible because of the people in it. And I want to say a special thank you to all the ladies. You know who you are, who really contribute to the community, who really like make an effort to encourage other ladies, who comment on other posts, contribute to the group, uplift other women. There's a lot of you on here, I know, that do that. And so I so appreciate you, because that's what makes this community so special, is all of you. So I just want to say thank you for that. And if you're new here, to reiterate what this community really is all about for me, is I developed the FWC, which is the Fierce Women Community, with a vision to help women become their fiercest, fittest selves, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And that's why it's called Sculpting Powerful Bodies and Champion Mindsets, right? So if you're new here, this is kind of the vision of the group, is to be a group that can uplift and encourage other women. And that we are all in it together, right? So yes, I see Rosalinda popped in here, Diana, yes, and Sonia and Liz and Kimberly. Awesome. As well, I know I'm doing a couple thank yous, but you know what? I don't say it enough, and we all need to always give thanks. And I think this is the right timing to do it. I wanted to also give thanks to the special angels in the background that have done so much for this community. Some of you know, some of you may not know. I want to first off give a huge shout out to Oshone, who just popped in here. Great timing, Oshone. Oshone is the assistant coach of the FWC. She is also coaching the FFF ladies. She is also your 10-minute call girl. She's the one who gives you the calls, the complimentary calls. And I call her my right-hand girl, because if it was not for her, this community would not run as well as it does. And I know I'm in the spotlight a lot, but she's in the background doing a lot. So I want you guys to all give her a huge shout out, and put to some gratitude down below for her, because I really think she deserves it. She's not in the spotlight as much, but she does a lot, and honestly, I am so grateful for her in my life, because I just would not be able to do what I do without her. So give her lots of thanks. Those of you who have experienced her coaching, coaching, my FFF clients, MA ladies, that she's coached your workouts. You guys know how amazing she is, right? Secondly, I want to give thanks to Debbie Bowman. She couldn't make it right at the beginning of live, but I think she really deserves it. She's been an angel in the community for 3 years, almost near the beginning of the group. And for those of you who know, Debbie went through my transformation program. She's in my muscle accelerator program, but she has stayed consistent in serving the community despite how busy she is. It is crazy. She is running around, full-time job at 65, not retired yet, working like crazy. Mom, grandma, I know her family, her son-in-law went through some major medical things, and she's still dancing at championship level in ballroom Latin dancing. And that's why she couldn't make it on. I think she's rehearsing for her competition right now. And she's 65 years old. And she always says to me, and I know how busy she is, but she's like, but I love the ladies. I love seeing them win. I love cheering them on. When she's like, the anti-bloat challenge, which is happening next week, I want to help more because I want to see more women succeed. And, just it's so amazing to have, women like that, like Debbie, and who is 65. Like, she doesn't have to be doing this. She doesn't have to, she could just be kicking back her feet and just, not doing anything. But instead, she really puts her heart into this community. So thank you so much, Debbie. And last but not least, I want to also say thank you to May. A lot of you may not know May. May is a VA in the background. She is the one who screens all of you. And that's how we keep the men out of this group, okay? She's our security guard. So she screens all of you who are entering our group. She makes sure that it's not like anything. And she does all of the logistics and accepting members and tagging members. So she works very tirelessly throughout the days, and she's in the Philippines, so her hours are different from us, but she does a lot as well. So please give her lots of hearts as well. And yes, I'm sorry I'm taking some time to say some thank yous, but I think we all need to do that sometimes, right? So please give all these ladies lots of hearts. For those of you who are new to the community, when you have been in the community for a while, you'll know that if you talk in Messenger, a lot of times you're talking to these angels. It's not necessarily me. So they're really helping me out. Sometimes if you want free resources, it's them sending it to you. When they get on a call, sometimes it's them. So really, you should be saying thank you to them, to all the angels who are really contributing to this amazing growth of this community. So I see lots of hearts and awesome thank you. And thank you for all the thank yous to Debbie and Oshone. Awesome. So just a quick wins before we dive into the topic. I want you also to welcome Marilyn Saw. She just joined the transformation program. I don't know if she's on here. I wasn't looking how many people popped in here, but yeah, she just joined the transformation program last week, and she's actually a pretty lean individual overall. So her goal isn't necessarily to drop a lot of weight, but it's to get her nutrition on track to build muscle. So she really wants to learn how to build muscle better, and to have a structured program that I know how to really dial her macros. So super excited for you, Marilyn. And also want to give a shout out to Sherry. I think Sherry is on here. Yes, she is. That she even wrote, Oshoni, Debbie, and Lisa, you are such special women, the definition of fierce and fabulous. Absolutely. And so Sherry did a big post. Well, first of all, she just turned 50. Woo-hoo. On Monday was her birthday. So happy birthday, Sherry. But super proud of her. I know over a few weeks' time, she's lost a total of 20 inches and 7 inches off her midsection, which is pretty significant for a couple weeks, like 2.5 weeks, I think. It's pretty significant. And I know that sometimes she's hard on herself, which we've talked about, and that celebrating every win is really important. So here's the celebration for you, Sherry, to keep going. And I know you're working very, very hard at that. And just a last shout out is to Rosanance, who is in the transformation program. And she got COVID, I think, 2-3 weeks ago. And, she's okay now, but she's really working hard to come back. And for those of you who've been sick or have gotten COVID before, you know how difficult it is. So give her a shout out for trying to get back on track, trying to get back into her workouts and all her nutrition after getting COVID. So yes, those are all my shout outs. And just make sure, Oshana, I know you're on here, but maybe make sure that my tag for everyone went through. If not, post a little post in the group that I've gone live. I think that really helps draw people to the live. All right. Let's dive into the top tips for holiday eating. Now, they're not really in any particular order, honestly. They're things that like just is what I do. Like I'm just kind of sharing all the things that I do. But we're gonna first start with mindset, because I think it starts with the mind. And you know me, if you follow me for a long time, you know that about me. So the first tip is don't have an all or nothing mindset. And so in essence, like in summary, before we even dive in, it just means do things in moderation, right? This is the holiday season. So it's not good to swing one way. So there's one camp of people that may say, oh, it's the holidays, like I'm just going to enjoy myself and get back on track in January, right? It's probably the worst thing you can say to yourself, because that's basically like throwing in the towel and just like, I'm just a free for all for this next month and a half, which, just so you know, the average holiday weight gain is about 15 pounds, right? So when you think about it, that's a lot of weight within a 1.5 month. Why? Because the average over excess calories that happen during holiday meals is usually like 2,000 to 3,000 calories, which is crazy, because you may not realize the gravy or the things that are in your holiday meal that makes you go over by 2,000 to 3,000 calories in a meal. So if you have multiple meals throughout a month and a half, Christmas, holidays, all of that, well, you're for sure gaining, over the holidays. So we got to make sure we're not going to swing that way where like, oh, it's all like forget it, like it's just a holiday, I'm just going to enjoy myself. And it's to really make mindful choices. So not having all or nothing mindset is actually being more mindful. It's just about going, okay, I can enjoy the holiday season and have some fun treats, but I'm still going to make good choices, right? I'm still going to, be cautious of what I choose. But if I really want a certain like favorite dish, have it, right? Like it's not like deprive yourself, but you're just more mindful of choosing it. But the other way, so not an all or nothing mindset, is the other camp. There's another camp of people who are very, maybe because it's like a fear-based kind of situation. It's very like, can't eat anything or else I'm going to gain weight. So then they deprive themselves, and it's a nothing mindset. And that nothing mindset is also problematic, because guess what? You'll feel deprived. You'll watch enviously someone else across the table eating your favorite dish. You'll be like salivating as someone eats the chocolate cake, right? Anybody salivate watching me eat that cake yesterday? Did you guys like my post? It's actually a video, but I didn't post the video because my friend took the video of me like she dared me to like go like mouth first into the cake. So it was really funny because she couldn't stop laughing. But it's like if you deprive yourself, it's gonna backfire. So I really, one of the biggest things I'm gonna say to you is don't have this like mindset of I can't have any fun foods, or I can't, like I have to be so good, otherwise I'm going to like gain weight, and then it will lead to binge eating. That's how binge eating happens, when people deprive themselves or cut themselves back, and then they feel deprived, and then they can't take it anymore, and then they eat like the whole chocolate cake, right? Has anybody done that before, where they binge after trying to restrict themselves? Anybody here who's willing to be honest? I think it's actually common amongst women, especially if you don't know your nutrition well. Like maybe for this group, maybe more educated, maybe okay, but there's a lot of women who will deprive themselves, and then they can't take it anymore, and then they like suddenly at nighttime go out and buy a big piece of cake and just eat it at night by themselves, because they don't want anyone to know and they feel guilty about it, right? Oh yeah, so people are admitting, see, thank you for being honest. See, you guys are not alone. See, this is normal. This is very normal if you've experienced this. Phyllis says yes. Jennifer says guilty. Lisa said many years. Sherry said, I got a free count birthday cupcake from Clarice. Best present ever. So Sherry's referring to, I posted a cupcake GIF on a comment, and I said, you do not need to log this cupcake. There you go. It was just a picture. It's so funny. So yes, and Sandy says, yep, herself as well. So this is why I speak about this. If you can have the mindset of just moderation, have a little bit, It's okay. Enjoy your favorite, I don't know, cheesecake or whatever dish you like, right? But it's just don't swing either way. That's basically the message number one, right? It's not an all or nothing mindset. Enjoy things in moderation, and you're gonna just be so much happier. And that's why I had to show that cake, because like that picture of me, because I do enjoy some, but like it's just not all the time. But I'm going to enjoy it myself, because like if you deprive yourself, you are going to go into some major food issues, right? And those of you who've competed know that, because when you have to be that strict in competition, Oshone, anyone else in competition, you have a big usual backfire out of competition, right? Because your brain can't take that. That's why what I teach here is lifestyle. If you're competing, it's a different issue. We have different type of coaching to go with that. But it's like, that's why if you go too extreme, it's going to not be good. Okay. So anybody struggle? I know some of you already said, that you're guilty of it. Does anyone feel like they have to work more on their mindset around things? Like if you think you have to work more on mindset, put mindset below. Okay. Hi, Star. I see you jumped in. Hi, Janet. I see you popped in as well. So number two, okay. So I had actually mentioned this before, and this might be new for some of my clients, probably not. So don't try to starve yourself before a big event like Thanksgiving tomorrow. So if you're having Thanksgiving tomorrow, don't be like, I'm just gonna like not eat today, so I'm gonna have massive meal for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Anybody doing that? Anybody trying to save space for tomorrow? Any of my US members here feel like they're trying to save space for tomorrow, so you're not eating as much, you're trying to save a lot of room for your stomach? Phyllis, I see the mindset. Yes, thank you for sharing that. You need to continue to work on that. But you are on the 21-day program, so that's going to help a lot. So here's the thing is, a lot of people do tend to like not eat before a big event, or they think something's coming up, so they try to eat less. And this will backfire, because you will kind of mess up your hunger signals, okay? And your hunger signals, like if it thinks it's not getting enough food, you're going to be fine for the few days you starve yourself or don't eat. But when you get to the Christmas dinner or the Thanksgiving dinner, it is going to eat like a mad woman. You're going to eat like a mad woman, right? You're going to like, I'm going to take in everything. And the everything is everything high calories, sugary, the densest caloric food you can eat, right? So it's just not a good method. So what do I suggest instead is, Pam says, working on mindset, looked and smelled the donuts in the kitchen and said nope. Good job, Pam. I'm so proud of you. Pam is in the transformation program. So Pam, who will comment on your comment right now, probably Oshone, because she likes donuts. She probably wouldn't have said no to that donut. You were stronger than Oshone. But yeah, so what I would suggest, okay, is that you eat your regular meals as normal before your big dinner, your big Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, or whatever parties are coming. Eat normally. But the most important thing is eating macro balanced meals. Now, this is why I teach a lot around macro balanced meals, because if your body is actually well nourished, okay, it has the nutrients it needs. It won't go crazy at the Thanksgiving dinner or the Christmas dinner, because I overall eat pretty well balanced. When I am at an event, I just feel calm. Like I don't feel like I have to like deprive myself, but I enjoy a little bit, but just a little bit is enough for me, because my body isn't craving anything. It's not like I need this, I'm starving for this, or my ghrelin leptin levels are off, which is your hunger signals. So because you eat normally and you eat macro balance, your hunger signals are more balanced overall. And that's why a lot of my clients, right? Some of my clients, you can jump in here. When you eat macro balance, your cravings go away, because it is balancing everything and your body is well nourished. So a well nourished body has better self-discipline. Is that correct? A well-nourished body has better self-discipline, because you're not trying to willpower it, because I said willpower doesn't work. You can only willpower so long. And you're like, I'm going to avoid that cheesecake. I'm going to avoid that chocolate. I'm going to avoid. Nope. It's not going to last long. At nighttime, you're going to go to it, right? If it's in the house, of course. but it's actually like regularly fueling your body the right way, eating well-balanced meals. Yes, Jennifer says no cravings, and Jennifer's in my transformation program and muscle accelerator now. So yeah, so eat normally, eat well-balanced, macro balanced meals, and like try to eat for, obviously there's different philosophies, but I would suggest eating smaller meals throughout the day so your body learns to have signals where it gets full faster, satisfy faster. So why is that really important? Because signals are really important, meaning when I am at a big dinner or event, my body is very used to a certain amount of calories per meal. It knows, it has a clock, it has an internal clock, it knows, because that's how I've trained it. I've trained it very well. But if you're someone who doesn't eat very like structured, all over the place, you don't eat all day, then eat massive meals or very unbalanced meals, your body doesn't actually know where to tell you to stop yet. I mean, of course, internally there's a system that will stop it if you really overeat, but it's like it doesn't have that cue that you would have trained it if you only ate maybe every meal is like a few hundred calories. If you eat at night and you eat 900 calories at night because you skip meals before, you can see how that is going to mess up your signals, right? And Sherry says, very true about balanced macros affecting the cravings, an incredible effect. Exactly. So that would be my recommendation. Don't starve yourself before Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner. Eat normally, but try your best to eat macro balanced meals. Now, here comes the thing is that if you don't know what macro balanced meals, that's probably something you need to learn. And that's something that's really important. So if anyone on here feels like they're not really understanding when I say macro balanced meals, put macro balance below, and yeah, we'll reach out to you. And even though it's easy to say protein, carbs, and fat, which is what I mean by macro balanced meals, there's more complexity within the protein, carbs, and fat, right? Because again, not all proteins are made equal, not all fats are made equal, not all carbs are made equal. And in carbs, there's different divisions, as those of you who've heard some of my previous lives know. So you have to really know that and then know how to balance it. And then that way you have the best success of like feeling well nourished because you're balancing everything. So if you want to learn more about macro balanced meals, put it below. I see Denise commented, yeah, and we'll reach out to you. And Natalie, yes, we'll send you the replay. Yes. And Wanda jumped in as well. Good to see you, Wanda. Awesome. So let's go to the third thing now. So the third point I'm going to make here is connected to the second point. So I want you to hear me really carefully, okay? So around the holiday season, okay, like I want you to eat normally. I don't want you to starve yourself, but you could potentially, okay, go on a slight deficit on your total calories if you know over this next month and a half is going to be crazy with tons of like eating out and parties and things like that. You could go by a little bit less, not starving yourself, but a little bit less. And so I have to be careful how I say this, because if people don't have a lot of knowledge around this, they can go totally the wrong way. But what I mean by this is that when you have your right caloric range, so you do need to know your caloric range, or you have had someone who has helped you with it, you know your caloric range, there's always what's called this optimal window. And that optimal window can shift about 200 to 300 calories. You could be on the higher end of the optimal window or on the lower end of the optimal window. Now, so obviously, like in holiday seasons and things like that, you may want to maybe shift a tiny bit towards the lower end, but not too low, just slightly on the lower end of it. That can help you to just stay a little bit lower, because you're going to have some higher calorie, maybe meals, in the next month or so. But this is very, very crucial. You keep this in mind. Don't do this if, one, you don't know your calorie range and you're just guessing, because then you can mess that up, or you could be like really off, right? So if you don't know your calorie range, I wouldn't recommend it. If you do know your calorie range, or you've done programs, or you're one of my previous clients, you could potentially do something like that. That is possible. But I also would say I wouldn't recommend this if you have hormones that are out of whack, like your hormones are out of whack. So a lot of my menopausal women is a little bit tricky because if your hormones are out of whack, it can really affect if you cut calories, right? So if your hormones out of whack, I wouldn't recommend it. If you eat very low calories to start with, it's not recommended for you. So there are many women I coach even now that I even just sent a message to one of them today, that I said, okay, if you can even get to 1,000 calories for me, I'm happy for now. Please get to at least 1,000 calories. I know that is not enough, but do not go below that, because she was consistently going below that. And so if you're someone who is eating way too low, this is not recommended for you, okay? I'm talking about people who have good caloric ranges, who have pretty good healthy metabolisms, and they want to be just a little more conscious around the holiday season. Another thing to keep in mind, this is not recommended for people who have high cortisol and for people who have high belly fat storage signals. Okay, so this is why this is so important you listen to this carefully. I know a lot of people have a lot of different approaches or recommendation, but they don't tell you why it may not be suitable for certain people. And this is why there's a large group of you in this group, which are menopausal or 50 and above, that could fall in that camp. That's why it's not always good to do that, but it could work for some people who have like pretty good metabolisms and they've stabilized. Maybe they worked with me for a long time. They stabilized their calories. It could work a little bit because in the end, right, like if you do a little bit lower, slightly lower, it can just compensate a little bit of the higher calorie days when you're having those big Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. But you know, so if you feel like I described you in terms of like, maybe it's not for you, like maybe put below what is it that you feel like it's not you. Like maybe you have high cortisol, you have belly fat storage hormones, your hormones are out of whack, or you undereat. If you're any one of those groups, I wouldn't suggest playing around with the calories, because that's where signals get mixed up, right? So are you one of those? You know, do you feel like your hormones are out of whack, or is your cortisol too high? Is your belly fat storage hormone high? So put that below as well, okay? Because that would tell you, like, you know, just eat regular healthy meals is probably best instead of playing around with that. Although I will say, when I say dial macros and dial calories, when you are very good with macros and your metabolism is healthy, like maybe like Oshone, like myself, like some other individuals I've coached, it dialing macros is possible. And this is why competitors are very good at this, right? They can dial themselves to really shredded, to slowly bulking up again. So when your body is in the right place, you can do that. Just so you know, when I say dial macros, it does exist, but I feel like for a lot of women, they actually just don't understand it. So then it becomes complicated, right? Because they don't know how to dial it. And if your calories are off in the first place, like imagine someone who's eating at 900 calorie listens to me without listening to all my don't do this or this is not for you, and then they dial back their calories to 300. Can you imagine? What would that look like? That would be like this person eating 700 calories. That would be horrendous, right? So that's why I have to always give full picture of what I'm trying to explain to you, right? So yeah, Jennifer says higher cortisol, high belly fat storage hormone. So yeah, so Jennifer, we wouldn't play around with that. Pam, low calorie, just cannot eat enough. Yeah, Pam, that would not be for you for sure. Right now, you're my transformation program. You would just eat healthy, just eat your regular healthy meals like I've taught you in the program, and you're good, right? Sandy, not for me, under eat and likely high cortisol. Exactly. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you. I gave you a shout out at the beginning, Debbie, and everybody gave you hearts because you're an amazing angel. I see Dory Donovan jumped in, Anne Ramirez jumped in, and Debbie says I used to eat too little calories as well. Exactly. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4. So this is pretty, I think, self-explanatory, but maybe it's just a good reminder. Keep exercising and moving throughout the holiday season, because during this holiday season, it's very easy to get very busy and then skip the gym. Okay. And I understand you might be the one preparing Thanksgiving dinner, or you might be like running around trying to get gifts for everyone. It's just a busy time. And as much as you can, try to stay consistent. More than ever during the holiday season, you should stay very consistent in your exercise and your workout routine. Keep yourself moving because you need the extra movement and even that muscle building potential, because you're working the muscles, to have a little bit of extra calorie room, a little bit. Okay. So you want to stay as consistent on the structure, but I want to make sure we have the right mindset. So when you listen to my lives, you know that I don't like making a statement and then just leaving it out there, because I think a lot of people will misinterpret it. So you can never outwork a bad diet, right? We know that. So I'm not saying exercise because I'm going to go eat all this bad food and I'm going to exercise to compensate. That would be the wrong mindset. What I'm saying is continue to work out as a lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. Keep consistent. You're working out as a lifestyle, not because you're trying to compensate for all the bad food you're eating. It's just you want to stay consistent in your exercise routines. And that's the right mindset, because that way you're not thinking you can outwork the 1,000, 2,000 calories you ate at that dinner, because you can't. In an exercise session, you might burn 300-400 calories if that, and your meal would easily be maybe 2,000 calories. So you can't outwork a bad diet, right? So just keeping that in mind. So you just want to stay consistent in exercising. And I want to talk about also, like, during this period in time, sometimes people have this mindset where they're like, oh, like, I don't want to start anything right now. I don't want to be on a program. I don't want to be doing any of that right now until January. And I have something to say about that. So this is the best time to get on a program right now. And I actually know there are a few of those, my new clients who just got on, and the ones in FFF, like, this was your mindset. That's why you got onto FFF. So congratulations, ladies, because this is the best time to get on a program, because this time of the year is when habits fly out the door. This time of year is when things get super busy. This time of the year is when temptation is super high. And it is actually super advantageous to you to do and be on a structured program at this time of the year. So I know a lot of you who are on my programs, you guys know that, because you guys are seeing changes. You guys are all really structured in your eating. So it's perfect, because you're going in with going in with a leg up? Is that right? That saying, you're going in with a leg up already than everybody else, right? So this is the best time. And sorry, I see Debbie says, thank you, everyone. I'm blessed by all of you. And then Lisa says, you're loved, Debbie. So Debbie, everyone loves you. You're amazing. So another thing too, and this is all about mindset, right? Is if you're someone who says, oh, like, it's just too crazy, I don't want to start anything right now. If you have sort of this, like, I'll wait till January, New Year's resolution kind of mindset, it's kind of like, it's not that it's horrible, because you can set goals in New Year's, and I'll still, like, encourage ladies in January to set goals, but it's actually a procrastination mindset. It's I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And it does something for you when you say, I'm going to do it now, when it's inconvenient, when it's hard, when everybody else is throwing in the towel and eating all their sweets and candy and chocolate and cake. I'm going to do it now. And that actually does something for your mindset. And it actually creates confidence in yourself, that you're like, yeah, like, it's hard right now, but I'm doing it. And it actually puts you in the running by the time January 1st comes. And that's always been the mindset that I've taught, actually, even my own life mentors in life, not for fitness, but in life and business and different things like that, have talked about, is you want to hit the ground running in December, not in January. You want to hit the ground running in December, and man, you're going into 2024 strong. And so that's the mindset I want you to have, is start now. Like, don't wait. You get on a structured program now, get going, commit, because by the time January comes first, you're going to be so thankful, and you're going to be the one that's feeling good, looking good, staying lean throughout the holiday season, right? So for any one of you who feel like you need to be on a structured program, like, where maybe you kind of threw it out and said, oh, wait until January, but now you like know you need a structured program, put program below, and we will reach out to you because yeah, we're wrapping up the year, but we're looking for 9 more. Like I said, we're close to our mission 100 women to impact, so 9 more. But I can't emphasize enough, structure program, guys. Those of you my own clients attest to it, right? You guys see the difference that a structured program does for you, something you can do, you stick to, someone who's poking you a little bit or checking on your food or checking on your workouts. Clarice pokes a little bit in the app, you know, it does help. It does help a little bit, right? So Debbie says, I am a procrastinating mindset, not now. Thanks to Clarice. Yes, Debbie, you've come a long way. Yes, absolutely. So put program below if you feel like it is, you know, you need to actually get more on a program and kind of overcome that, you know, that holiday mindset. That's basically what I'm saying, right? So that's number 4. Number 5, okay, so it sounds a little similar to number 2, but it's kind of more closer to like right before the event or right before a Thanksgiving dinner. So right before you go to a big event or Thanksgiving dinner like tomorrow, do eat a little bit before you go. Actually, that is one of my biggest strategies. I often have my own containers of food. Actually, I always have containers of food, as Oshone knows. And I like to, before I go to a restaurant, before I go eat, I actually eat some of my own meal first. And it goes back to the same principle. I'm making sure my body's nourished. I'm making sure I get all my macro balances in, because I can't guarantee at that event or that restaurant I'm going to get all my macro balances in, because there might be some stuff I'm just like, I ain't touching that. That's not right. So, but then I'm going to get hungry and then I'm going to like feel like I need to eat it. Right. So I always eat a little bit before a big event, any event, wedding, anything, and it just saves me. Like I remember an example when I did my show, I did that performance. You guys might have seen that big performance for my dance show. And I made sure right before I went to go and perform, I left the house, I ate a little bit. I carried a small healthy bar with me because I knew I was going to get hungry. And thank goodness, because they were running like an hour behind for that performance. And my dance partner that was performing with me was so hungry. He was like, and then luckily Clarice is always prepared with food, so I gave him food to eat. But it's always better to eat a little bit before, so that you're controlling your ghrelin, you're controlling your leptin, you're controlling your hunger signals. You don't ever get into these craving situations, right? So Sherry says structure, accountability, encouragement, and guidance. Program is the best investment in your health. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Well, you are a great example, you know, coming back and doing it another time. So yeah, and the results you're having right now. So in terms of like eating a little bit before a big event, it doesn't have to be a big meal. So like, of course you're like, wait, if I eat, then I can't eat some of my fun foods at this Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm not saying like eat a massive meal. I'm just saying eat a little bit, like just a little bit, and make sure it's well balanced. And even keep some in your bag. That's also a trick. Put some in your bag. Like, you know, I know Sherry, you're very good with turkey meatballs or egg white bites and things like that. You can put little things in your bag that is your choice of food in case there isn't what you want at the event. This has happened too many times to me before, I'm telling you. And if those of you who have been coached by me, you know. And in 21-day program, do you not now realize the amount of toxins in food? You probably look at things and almost want to throw up sometimes, because you realize from the 21 program, what is in this food, right? So you sometimes are like, now you're like, I have nothing to eat. So you want to be prepared. Be as prepared as possible. When I travel, I make sure I have backup of certain like healthy things, because I do know because at the end of the day, right, you only can hold out for so long. If you don't have healthy food, but you're hungry, you absolutely will give in to eating junk. Absolutely. So you have to be prepared and eat a little bit before you go to these big events, right? If you eat earlier than go to an event, then if you eat there as well, won't that be too many calories then? No, because if you eat a little bit, like I said, smaller, it doesn't have to be a big meal. I'm not saying a full meal, but like maybe partial of your meal, well balanced, and then you go to the event and you're mindful, just like I said earlier, my point, not like uncontrolled eating, then you could be eating a little bit over there, a little bit over here before you go, but it's just less of that high calorie treats and all of that over there because you ate first and you're not so hungry, right? So it's all in moderation, not an all or nothing mindset, right? You like to keep them in your purse. Yeah, turkey meatballs. Yeah, Sherry has her turkey meatballs. I know. Egg white, little egg white things you make can be really great as well. So yeah, like just finding little strategies like that, right? So that's number 5. Number 6, if it is an event where you can bring things, I would suggest you bring a healthy dish. Clarice is famous. I mean, Oshone knows this, right? Oshone for our events. What does Clarice like to bring? Clarice always brings salmon because that's what I know how to make, a baked salmon, and it tastes really good. So therefore, I'm bringing baked salmon. So baked salmon because I'm going to bring my own healthy dish in case there isn't as many healthy dishes. So you can have the backup of your own dish, right? So you can choose to bring your own healthy dish. See, Oshone knows me so well. Let me tell you. See, she just says salmon. Actually, if you get to know me, Clarice is so predictable. It is unbelievably predictable. I think it's been what, 3-4 years in a row I've brought salmon. So, if you ever invite me over, I'm bringing salmon to your place. Okay, everyone? So bring your own healthy dish because it just guarantees you can stay on track a little bit better, right? So that's number 6. Number 7 is you want to, when you are at the event, you want to fill yourself up with more like healthy appetizers, things like vegetables and things that you just know are just healthier for you, celery sticks and things like that are there. Of course, you can enjoy a little bit, but like, sometimes you're just munching, right? You're just chatting with people, you're having a good time, you're not even really like enjoying it. And instead of like munching on all these like high calorie, every bite you take is like 500 calories, munch on, the vegetables and like high fiber kind of foods, right? So, Shone's laughing. How do you keep it from going bad? Oh, in terms of food? Yeah. So either it's in your purse or you have a cooler. I do have a cooler that I pack it in. And I know like Lisa, Debbie and Oshone, I gave them last Christmas a little cooler pack, and like you can keep your food a little bit fresher in there. So you just keep it cold, right? So yes, so filling up more with high fiber foods, vegetables first, and using a plate method. So the plate method I would say is you want to fill about half of your plate with vegetables and high fiber things, and then the other half could be maybe like some of the things that you like and enjoy, but making sure you have protein because protein is slows down your digestion. So, but like half of your plate should be vegetables and have some, protein, and then maybe some of the things that you enjoy. And that way you keep your fun things kind of lesser on your plate, right? So yeah, it's just some methods, right? It's called the plate method. So using the plate method. And then Karen says, love salmon. I should invite you for events. Well, when I get my own place. Invite me for dances, Karen. Karen and I know each other in dance scene. I'll bring some salmon there. So, yes. And then has anybody used the plate method before? I'm curious, anybody use the plate method where you fill half of your plate with vegetables and like high fiber foods and healthy foods? That's a really good strategy to use. So then number 8, this is all connected, but let's just say you're at a potluck or a buffet, or everyone's bringing their own dishes, okay? Or maybe it's a dinner that is cooked, like you go, but you can still scout out the food. This is really important, is scouting out the food, okay? So this is about pre-planning and prioritizing. So all my clients, I teach you to pre-plan. If you do not plan your food proactively, you will eat your food reactively. Is that correct? All my clients, I say this: if you don't plan your food proactively, you will eat your food reactively. So what I would say is, when you get to an event, you want to, yes, Jennifer, plate method, good. April, plate method, awesome, good. So when you get to an event, you want to, if you can, scout out all the food, all the dishes, kind of get a feel of what's there. And then you want to, in your brain, make the choices of which ones are like the for sure you like been waiting for it. I'm definitely eat that fun food. And you choose a few of the ones you're going to prioritize as like your fun food. And then obviously you kind of go and fill out your plate with like, the other healthy options, and kind of go lighter on maybe the not so healthy options, because you've already chosen which ones you're going to actually fill your plate with. And it's because a lot of times what happens is people would be going down the buffet line. I don't know about you, if you've done it. I've done it before, where, oh, this looks good, and this looks good, and this looks good. And then by the end, you have this massive plate of food, but you didn't really plan it. You just went along with whatever was there, and you liked everything you saw, right? So you want to make sure that you kind of prioritize which ones you want to have your fun food. Now, I know people will say prioritize which ones to have your cheat. You notice I don't like using the word cheat, because it's a mindset thing. I actually don't like calling food cheat food, because then it makes you feel guilty, right? It's a mindset thing. I don't like it, because then it makes you feel guilty. You should enjoy it. Why should you feel guilty? It's a fun food, right? So you prioritize the fun foods you like, enjoy it. Don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to call it a cheat food. Just call it a fun food. You're just having some fun. And then you can go like less, like then you won't like fill your plate with unnecessary treats, right? So yes, so that's another strategy I use, is kind of like prioritizing which ones I am going to have. Does anyone use the prioritizing method? Like prioritize which one you're going to have for fun foods. Put prioritize below if that's you. You do prioritize which fun foods, like you choose strategically which ones you're going to allow yourself to have. Yeah, Debbie says, yep. So put prioritize below if you do actually do that, like you do prioritize your fun foods. And then number 9, this is another strategy, is obviously keep your plates a bit smaller. Try to get a smaller plate. It will help you versus these massive plates, and try not to go back for like seconds and thirds and all of that. Try to keep your portions under control. And it is hard sometimes, because you may love something there. But here's the thing is, if you eat before you go, right? You've ate well the days before, well-balanced meals, and you are filling your plate with vegetables, and half the plate with vegetables, and with healthy, fibrous foods, you don't need to go back for a second. You'll be full. You'll be well satisfied, right? So if you apply all the strategies, you won't need to feel this like deprivation effect, right? You actually are satisfied. So keep your portions a bit smaller, keep the plate smaller. Number 10 is eat slowly. So your body needs about 20 minutes for it to figure out if you are actually full. Okay. So, try to just savor the food, enjoy the food, talk with your company, and, try to like go slow. Don't eat too fast. Don't like try to eat it all at once. Otherwise, you may overeat. And I know a lot of people that I've talked to say food coma. Has anybody been in a food coma before? Food coma, where you're like, you get so tired after you eat, you just want to sleep. Anybody have a food coma before? And that's usually that you ate too fast, and your body could not actually digest, and there's too much in the system, but you didn't get the signal in time, right? So that's actually not really healthy for you. You want to try your best to not do that. And that's hard on a Thanksgiving dinner or some of these meals, because the calorie of food is so high. So the problem is, you're eating it, and like all at once. There's so much calories entering your system that it doesn't have enough time to tell your body. So that's why you got to be careful and eat just a bit slower and slow it down so your body has time to tell you that it is actually full, right? So anybody have food coma? Put it below. Does anybody experience food coma, like overeating, like at a holiday dinner, anything like that? Because that I would say too, one more thing I'll comment on, often comes from too much fat in the food and too much carbs in the food. Food coma comes from usually that. There's too much carbs and too much fat in the food. Janet says used to. Yeah, but not anymore. Good, good, good. Awesome. So learning how to eat moderately and slowly. Number 11, you want to make sure you ta-da, what is this? What is this? Is carry your water bottle. Yes, 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 yes. Carry your big water bottle. Every time I carry this, people go, do you work out? Oh, yes, I do. The bottle gives it away, does it not? Does it not? Yeah. So, carry your water bottle around, bring it to events. I don't care. Doesn't look stylish. Who cares? Bring your water bottle, okay? Because you want to make sure you're well hydrated. This is very, very important. And I can't tell you how important it is that you're well hydrated, especially to help you, number one, not to overeat, okay? To keep you feeling full, to help you move things through the system faster. And by having the water bottle there, you're likely going to limit liquid calories. You guys all know about liquid calories, right? Liquid calories over the holiday season is probably one of the biggest contributors for weight gain. Yes, your favorite Christmas eggnog, your Christmas drinks, your Christmas things, and the alcohol, the cocktails, those add on thousands of calories in no time. So you want to be very careful. I would prioritize having lots of water when you're anywhere you go, anywhere you travel. Usually Clarice has two things with me. Oh, Shoni, do you know what it is? Oh, Shoni knows me really well. Big water. No, I have three things with me. I have container of food, big water bottle, and my stand. People are like, what do you mean stand? Because I film a lot of stuff. I film things all the time. So I'm like this little like film person that has a little stand, a water bottle, and food with me. So yeah, so it's like always with me. I always have food. I always have water. And that way I limit liquid calories. Yes. Oh, Shone, see, you guys, do you see what she's putting there? She just knows me too well. You just might as well call Shone Clarice version 2.0. It's so funny. But yes, so I know sometimes people may not even think it's that important, water, or they may be like, I'll drink it at home. I won't bring the water bottle to the event. But if you don't bring it to the event, you are more likely to drink other things there, trust me, because you're not going to have water as easily. There's other things there. You're thirsty. And then now we're going to eat too much calories or get too much calories in our system too fast, right? Oh, good. Awesome, Sharon. I'm glad it's helping. Awesome. So number 12, after you eat a big dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, and any dinner, to be honest, like if you can have this habit, you want to try to move after you eat. Usually going for a walk is a really, really good habit to have. It really helps with your digestion and helps things move along your system. And so, it's common for a lot of people, especially in a big dinner, to sit for hours after having a big dinner. That is not good. Try to move as soon as you can after you've eaten a big meal. Okay. Yeah, Oshone said lots of high sodium foods. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. At these events. So that's why you also need water, because there's lots of high sodium foods. So make sure you move as soon as you can. And taking a walk is a great way. I know sometimes in the wintertime it's hard because those of us who live in weather that is like -30, going for a walk might be harder, but you still can. Or doing something in the home, right? Get up, do some stuff around the home. That would help a lot, right? So, that's number 12. Number 13, So this is really important and it often gets forgotten during the holiday season. Okay. So you want to make sure you get enough sleep and monitor your stress level. So why is this really important is because during the holiday season, you are being faced with higher calorie foods, higher fat, higher carbs, and some of the fun things, right? It's just going to be part of the season and it's okay to embrace it. But it is extremely important you get enough sleep and monitor your stress level, because if you don't have enough sleep or have good stress levels, your signals in your body is going to tell your body to store. Okay. Remember something I want everyone to always remember: when food enters your body has a decision to make. It is either going to move it to fuel or as storage. And how you train it matters, right? That's why all my clients, I teach you a certain way of eating, or I want you to eat a certain way. I want you to combine a certain way. I want you to have certain timing of food. I teach certain ways of eating because we want to train your body well. So if you train your system to have a lot of stress all the time, or it's always under a lot of cortisol, it is going to be taught to store. It's going to taught to store everything you give it. And you really want to change those signals to fuel, and that it means that you control cortisol. And during menopause, like the women who are in menopause, is even more important, because by nature, going through menopause means your cortisol level is actually higher. So you have to be even more diligent. And one thing I'll say here, oh, Shone says play musical chairs or something. That is a good idea. Oh, Shone, come over for a Christmas party next time. Yes. Except the musical chairs has burpees involved. Yes. Oh, well, Shone and I were at an event yesterday and we did it. We ran upstairs in our heels, right? We ran up like 2 flights of stairs, really steep stairs in our heels. So we are working our way. We are not taking the escalator or the elevator. We are running those stairs in our heels. So, but in terms of cortisol, something about menopausal women, something I want to say is, this is kind of why I would say knowing your inflammatory markers are really important. All my 21-day program ladies, I know you know what I'm talking about. Like Phyllis, you're on here, Wanda, Sandy, who did the 21 program. Because if your inflammatory markers are super, super high in the regular way of eating, you're going to cause a lot of cortisol spikes in your system without you knowing it. And that's why it's not that one Thanksgiving dinner that's actually the reason why you gain weight, or all the holiday meals. Is actually because you didn't take out on a regular basis your inflammatory markers, which is relating to cortisol. So I would say it is extremely important to learn how to take down those inflammatory markers, so that when you do enjoy some fun foods at the Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, the one-off is not going to do that much. It honestly won't. It's not what you do occasionally that matters. It's what you do consistently that matters. So if you don't know your inflammatory markers, I want you to put inflammatory markers below, because there are so many. All my ladies who are in my program or 21-day, were you surprised by a lot of the ingredients that I was telling you in the program? Because I know there was a lot of posts in that 21-day group that were like, oh my gosh, look at my pantry, and pictures of the pantry, and right, Oshone, like there's so many pictures of like all these products people are pulling out of their pantry, because it was crazy. They did not expect that there are so many inflammatory markers in a lot of those things. So if you want to learn more about inflammatory markers and really control cortisol, put inflammatory markers below. Okay. Sherry says, I'm not playing if there's burpees. Oshone wins. But Sherry, you're so competitive. You will do it. You'll do it. We've got to get together, all of you ladies in the program, for a big retreat. And then we will play a musical chair burpee version. Okay, everyone, all my clients, you guys ready for that? Rosalinda says, yes, shocked by all the inflammatory things that she realizes in her food. And she went through the the transformation program, right? So, and now the 21 day as well, Rosalinda. And Jennifer says, I send the leftovers home with my daughter, nothing to tempt me later. Yes, yes, exactly. And Phyllis says, I have a lot more room in my cupboards. Yes, because we took out a lot of inflammatory markers. So again, if you want to learn more about inflammatory markers, please put it below, because I'm almost guaranteeing you that like most people don't know the amount that is in their food. They are just so surprised when they learn all of it that is in their food, right? So there's number 13. Yes, Kamiko says 21-day program was terrific. Good. I'm glad, Kamiko. Yeah, it's really actually fascinating because on my end, and also Shone helps me, it's like we see what you guys pull out of your pantry and the pictures you guys showing us in 21-day group, and we're like, it's like crazy. We're so thankful that you guys did the program, because otherwise that's what you're putting in your body all the time is these toxins, right? So all right, so number 14 is kind of what Jennifer said, is try not to buy holiday treats and like store it in your home, okay? Because you know that if you buy it, what will happen? You will eat it 100%. I mean, some people, rare, can have a lot of self-control, but a lot of people don't have that type of self-control, because if it's in the house somewhere, it will likely get it eaten at some point when you're stressed, when you're tired, late at night, can't sleep, that type of thing. So really avoid trying to buy a lot of the snacks and holiday treats and put it in your home. If you have to buy something, try to buy it like a little bit closer to the actual event day or the day of, because I know even if I buy it the day before I go to the event, sometimes I'm like, oh, I really want to steal a couple pieces of this, I'm being honest, like that's even me, and I'm a health coach, if it's some really good chocolate, I might be like, I want to steal some, so I sometimes avoid that by buying the day of the event and going, right? Sometimes you might not be able to, you might have to plan a little bit better. Another way is to store it at someone else's place. Someone, or leave it at like my parents' place or something like that. Like I don't want to have it in my home. Don't put it in my home. Find a strategy that it is not in the home. So Melanie said, I don't know about inflammatory markers, where to find this information. Melanie, we will reach out to you. So yes, we'll reach out to you on Messenger. Okay. So that's number 14. And really the last tip, number 15, is most importantly is to just enjoy yourself, like laugh and enjoy yourself. Like don't take yourself too seriously over the holiday season. But it's just to be mindful. I think if you're joyful, you enjoy a little bit of fun, look at my picture of that cake, because my friend was daring me. She's like, are you gonna actually eat it? I'm like, yes, I'm gonna eat it. And she's like, are you gonna take a massive bite of it? I'm like, I'm gonna take a massive bite of it, okay? And then she filmed the whole video of it. So just have fun, because when you laugh and all of that, your good hormones is better anyways, and cortisol goes down. You have more fun during holiday season. So don't take yourself too seriously, but do keep these things in mind that I mentioned. And I will say one thing too is education or knowledge helps you feel more empowered, right? And so if you can get more educated and learn how to apply it, not just educate it, but apply it, then you don't have to be so confused all the time. Like I would say that for a lot of my clients, and even Oshone, or a lot of my long-term clients like Lisa, some of the ones who kind of already kind of got a hang of it, they don't really really need much more monitoring. Like they can pretty much like just have peace around things. Like they just go to an event, they kind of know, they know what's good, they know what's not, they know how to read labels, they know what they need to do with macro combinations, they know what to look for inflammatory markers, they know just how to enjoy a little bit but not go crazy. And I think a lot of my clients over the last holiday season last year, a lot of them it was really awesome because we came back from our holiday break because mid-December we take a 2-week break, and most of them, like none of them really gained anything. They all like stayed pretty much the same, which was really awesome. So yeah, so just keep in mind that knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is more powerful. So you need to learn the things I talk about today, but if you don't know how to apply it, put apply below, because I really don't want you to sit on just knowledge. I was saying to Oshone yesterday, we were at an event, and at the very end, what did I say to you, Oshone? I said, the talk is good, all this talk is good, but what does Clarice want? Clarice wants action. That's what I said to Oshone, because I was like, it's about action. It's about taking action. You can go to all the talks you want, you can get all the knowledge you want, but you gotta take action, right? So put apply or action below if you're like, I need to apply this, I need to take action on this. Action. Yes, Oshone. So to wrap up, you can thank me later. That's why we put the anti-bloat challenge next week after your Thanksgiving dinner. Isn't Clarice so thoughtful? Aren't you thankful for that? We put the anti-bloat challenge the week after your Thanksgiving dinner. So if you are not registered in the anti-bloat challenge, which is the free 4-day challenge to help you bring down all that bloat and maybe some of the fun foods you've eaten, make sure you put anti-bloat challenge below. We're sending out the grocery list tomorrow, Thursday by 5 p.m. And yeah, it's our most popular free challenge. So put anti-bloat challenge if you want to be a part of it. And like I said, we are on our final run of Mission 100. We are looking for 9 more ladies to help in a program and coaching program and helping you actually get on a program. And so if you want to be one of the 9, put 9 below so that we can figure out if we can help you. Okay. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. This was a little bit faster, which is good because it doesn't have to be super long every time. And all of you can go enjoy your Thanksgiving or preparation for your Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. And yeah, thankful for all of you. Thank you once again for all of your love, your participation. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you all.